All right, guys, welcome to our live analysis session. So I thought it would be good to set up our preparations for Thursday's CPI news in advance. There's nothing best than to do our preparation. So I'm going to do things a bit differently. I'm going to start with the dollar index first. Now, as I was saying before, Hugo's Way has that was my main source of looking at the dollar index because it was just easy to use on MetaTrader. However, on the other side of the story, uh, what are the things that we can look at? I said the other side of the story is that, to be fair, we've got TradingView to help us. So what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna pull out TradingView. Let's look at the dollar index first, which is the best way to go about things, and then we can look at dollar pairs and other stuff after. All right. Now on my charts here, I already have a setup of analysis that I've been doing from before, which I went through with you guys. Which was the monthly time frame analysis over here. Let's just scroll this in a bit. All right, there we go. So looking at the price action as to what we've got going on, I do think that the dollar will have another rally, at least one more artificial one. When that's going to happen, there's because we're in the year of, the voting for the next president of the United States. There's a lot going on, during that period of time. But anyway, in the meantime, um, I want you guys to have a look at this with me. So with the dollar index, my thing is that we have this fair value gap over here. Let me just mark this out. There's a fair value gap right over here that the price did not actually reach to. It came very close to, but didn't actually reach to. Let me just get this line as straight as I can. There you go. If I go over to the weekly for you to see. So on the weekly time frame, the price just about missed it. The actual fair value gap is here. And these lows are practically equal. So the first low is 99.578. The second low is 99.589. Okay. So 578, 589. So they're 1 pip apart. So we can call these relative equal lows. Okay. Now, as a result of that, that puts us in a position where the price should be really making its way back down to this FVG. There's a demand order block resting at this point, and then that can be a great launching pad for one more long. We have equal highs up at 113, like I've always spoke about. And if you go down to the lower time frames, the actual high that was created in September 2022 was at, I believe it was the M5. Yeah, the M5. They also are exactly equal highs as well. So for me, it looks as though the dollar has one more short to do at least, and then a long can come into the market from that. Now, to the left, let me take this here. To the left, there's a supply order block over here that I've been watching, and the price has been working with it well. And if the price takes the low, but the body still stays within the, I'll say the 50 to 60% range of this candle body, then it's absolutely fine to continue to go for a long from, or to look for a long from this area. Okay. Now, the other side of the story here is that why I'm looking for a short, and I kind of concluded that we're going to have a short first and then a long, is let me just put this over here. 1 second. Hold on. All right. So over here, we can take any of these order blocks. I'm going to use the lowest down one, but to be fair, for the sake of analysis, it'll be the best to do this one. Now, let me see if I can just change the color here. So let's go for that. Maybe not. Okay. All right. And let's zoom in. All right. So if you look at this demand order block here, the price took off for a very strong long last year from this order block after this run of all of the sell stops beneath the low. Now we've had a body close in December beneath the low, and the price has filled FVG. So we have a complete cycle of efficient price delivery here. Right over here at 102, and the body of the candle has been broken beneath. Now, even if you use the other candle body, so the other demand order block here, right here, even if you use that, the price has still invalidated that. So immediately, my mind is thinking that we're going for a short. Now, on the weekly, there isn't any strong signal for a short. That's the thing, because the previous week's candle is a very strong bullish candle at the moment. Okay, we haven't had any highs taken. The price has just about reached this area here where we had a fair value gap. And these highs are also equal, which I think will remain untouched for a little while, to be fair. Okay, so even though there is a good sign of structural short positions to be made and to be had on the dollar index, we haven't got the structure played out as of yet. Now, what does that mean? Now, if I zoom in a bit further, currently this week, the high of the previous week and this supply order block would be a great candidate for a move long before a move short. What do I mean by this? So, as day one of our preparation for the CPI news, if I was to draw this supply order block here, now the equal highs that are above here also can play a part, but if we're just looking at these areas right here, if the price took the high of the previous week, maybe with the CPI news and gave us a long, and then on Friday with the PPI news, which is the producer price index, they use that as an excuse to push the price short, that would be the perfect setup to happen. What might even be better is if the price took this previous weekly high before the CPI news, and then the CPI news becomes the catalyst to just trigger price to push down, short. Okay. So on the daily time frame, what am I looking for then? Well, at the moment, the price has been hanging out here really well with this high. The demand zone I spoke about to you guys on the H4 and the H1, you see the price has respected it and not broken or invalidated it yet. So my hopes are that if the price does decide to take this weekly high and then push short, that would be great. Okay. Because at the moment, the price is forming a retail pattern, which is the head and shoulders pattern with the neckline. So the smartest thing I think that could be done would be to manipulate people into thinking the price is going short, even though it is going short, but just getting them in a bit too early and maybe take this low and then push long and then push short. Because that way, everyone's kind of going to feel a bit messed up because the neckline broke, and then after you stop me out, then it's gone long for a little while, then it's reversed back on me pretty hard and stopped me out again. So this sounds like the perfect cocktail of market manipulation. So I think one of the things to do when you're analyzing in this way, if you use any of these concepts of trading, is to think dark in a sense. Don't not being evil, but just think what's the evilest things the algorithm of the market could do to traders to make them trip up. And that would be it. It would to be have one of those uh effects of taking the highs and lows of things pretty quickly within the same day or the same 2 days to kind of throw everyone off. So I'd be interested to see what's going to happen here with that. And that's kind of like my view and my frame of what I'm looking for going forwards. Now, earlier confirmations will be stuff like, maybe if there's a strong body close above this high right here or above this supply zone, then we could be sure the price is going to go there. I mean, today doesn't seem to be as liquid as other days. Seems to be a pretty dry, but that's all right. For so far, so good. The price is taking off long, and it'll be interesting to see how the price is going to play this move. So, in terms of actual trading pairs, I'm going to go back to my IC markets charts here. Again, if you remember what I said to you guys, that my focus is on AUD/USD and NZD/USD. Where's NZD/USD over here? Now, AUD/USD is actually taking a front row lead in pushing down short. And really what I'm just looking for is for the price to close beneath this 30-minute area. Again, on the H4, to recap on what I'm looking at here, we have a fair value gap between this price delivery point and here. Now, if you want to be more specific, the wick of the candle did fill some of this fair value gap price delivery out, but from here to here, we still have 55 pips of nothing. So that gives room for the price to go for a nice short. On top of that, if I just grab here and go for this H4 set up here, like so. With this H4 setup that we have right here, the body of the candle has remained just as it is for now. But if the body of the candle does any H4 candle closes beneath this demand zone, again, this demand zone is the only thing really holding the price from not breaking down into this FGV range down here. Now, if that happens, that means we'll have a stronger dollar, which would be a good confluence with the dollar going long first and then short. Okay. Um, at the moment, you can see the price is kind of raging down. I guess my only thing is now this is IC Markets, which is one of the best brokers in the world, in my opinion, one of the cleanest and most fair brokers I've had in a long time. The only problem with this move down that I'm having right now is that these two highs are completely equal. So high number one, I did it today with my academy students, is a 0.67364. And this high also is 0.7364. So this liquidity pool that's formed above here of buy stops, the price will definitely be attracted to go for taking these. And I don't know if this is going to be with the CPI news that is going to spike up there before heading down. I'm not too sure. Now, the break I'm looking for, even though the 30-minute zone is what I'm looking for to break, I do want the higher time frame H4 confidence, because if there's a H4 breakdown close and then return, that would help to add more confidence to looking for a short. And again, the scalp is from here to here, just 90 pips, aiming to get like a 10 pip stop loss, 90 pips. There's a 1 to 9 risk to reward, and then I'm good for the week, to be fair. All right. Now, because of the equal high situation, now I'm a little bit hesitant as to what to do. I'm not that I won't trade it what I see, but I'm gonna be taking everything with a pinch of salt, because I don't like to be in the direction of a short when there's equal highs that have been left behind, which are so perfectly equal as well. And then we have something like CPI news around the corner. Just doesn't sit right with me, to be fair. Secondly, the speed at which NZD/USD is moving down short and AUD/USD moving short is not moving the same speed. NZD/USD is far away from breaking and flipping, so it makes me that's not the biggest issue, but I just kind of suspicious a little bit. Nonetheless, though, NZD/USD did take this high right here, so cleared some buy stops, did push a short, broke some market structure, came back here and starting to sell off now. So that's actually a good sign. So it's not the end of the world, guys. It's just that I'm gonna take AUD/USD with a pinch of salt. Okay, that's what I can say. And again, they have the same similar structure. It's just the NZD/USD is clearest on the H1 to see. If I go to the M30, candle bodies don't look as great, but you could still work with it if you want to. Still doesn't, it's not really so bad. But again, I'm looking for the same thing, that 30-minute close, and then on the return, because I know this wick will need to get filled, I just on the return look for a sell and just kind of, when it touches back in, I'm going for a short. Now in the H4, similar to AUD/USD, there's also a H4 order block here that's holding the price from dropping any further. And we do have a fair value gap, not as large as the Australian dollar, about zero, but I'd say about 40% smaller. It's about 33 pips instead of 55, 50. Okay, that needs to be filled out. Okay, and that would be the target. So from scalping from here, it would be a scalp from initially this point right here to this point right here. So we get 83 pips out of it compared to 90. 7 pips different is not major at all. But yeah, that would be the situation. Okay. And this is for this to happen, we need to have a stronger, we're gonna have to have a stronger dollar, which would at this stage right now with the dryness of the price would have to be some sort of news related spike. So I can only keep my eye on CPI for that to happen. Now, other things, now gold has been really good to me so far. I've had a good time trading gold. Right now, I don't really have anything much to trade with gold or to say about gold yet, because it's not done anything that's really significant to me per se, apart from doing this weekly stop hunt, taking this low and pushing up long. How far it's going to go, we'll see. But for now, I'm not really too fast. I have to say, when it comes to like CPI news, I never trade gold, because gold is ridiculously crazy when it comes to CPI news. weird things. It's just a highly manipulated pair. It's where most of the market's money is, $9 trillion, probably more by now, because of all the inflation. So it's a heavily manipulated market. Let's put it that way. All right. Now with those two bit pairs, there's the what I've been banging on about. Now, other things I have been looking at that I am testing is we got pound USD, which to me, pound USD seems to be very off correlation with the other major pairs. Doesn't really look structurally like anything they're doing. The pound USD is actually pushing long at the moment compared to others. And I just find that just stuff like this where the price could have taken this high but didn't and just left it alone and pulled back away from it. I don't really like the price action too much, so I'm not really pound USD positive this week. Okay. USD CAD though, I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen with that. Now, USD CAD has come back into this area here, and actually triggered a trade that's on my other account. I'm interested to see what's going to happen, if it's going to stop me out. But what I was taking was a small short because the price had taken the high the previous week. I think that this was a little bit of an early call because the market structure break is not that greatly defined. And there's a risk of being stopped out here. I might log into the other account and close it because market structure break isn't good enough here, to be fair. All right. Yeah, I mean, with other pairs, I have to say, I just wanted to do my preparation. As I said, we have 2 days of this. But from what I've delivered to you so far, I have to say that right now is really about prepping. The setup or the play of the dollar, I want to use that play to be able to maneuver between other markets here. Just trying to find the US 30 and can't seem to find it. Here we go. So here we go with the US 30 now, which is my kind of like my last setup. I definitely do think the price is going to continue short. We still have a liquidity gap that hasn't been filled out for a little while down here. And I kind of cross-reference this with other charts of, good liquidity providers and brokers, and it's the same. So far, though, the price has kind of done this movement, shot back up and come back here, taken these lows. If it gets back in this order book and it decides to go long, I'm interested to see if the market would actually give me this high right here as a price before it goes short again. Because this is pretty strong. And of course, because it's a US Open 20 minutes ago, the short was very heavy there. But I would like to see if there would be a long situation coming out of this. Sometimes with the US 30, the correlation can be on or off with the dollar. So it can be on sentiment or off sentiment. Right now, it's pushed short, whilst other things like gold have pushed short. And then other times it's pushing long. So I don't really want to use it too much with the dollar index for correlation. But this would be a nice setup for a long because it's broken market structure return back here. Even if it took this high and maybe this daily high right here and goes back to this supply zone, that would be a nice trade. But we'll just have to wait and see. I may end up taking it, who knows? If I do, I'll tell you tomorrow. But really, with the US 30, I still think the price is going to go short. Now, yesterday when I was talking about it, and the price was kind of gearing up, the price was struggling at this supply zone, but had a very strong breakthrough and just continued going, which was pretty wild, huh? And now it's coming back to the other side. If there is room and we can get along here, that I would love to really get something going over here with these pairs. But for now, again, all I'm going to do is focus on these pairs that I have in front of me. These three US 30, NZUSD, ADUSD, and gold. These four, I should say, are my favorite. With I did make an attempt to the Swiss franc Japanese yen. Didn't really go like I liked. Left it alone. You can delete all of the other ones. For me, I'm just trying to pick out what's out, out of the four, what are the best ones to go for, and just leave the rest alone. I don't want to try and be fussy with it and try to mess up my plan. Now with USD CAD, again, as I said, it had a market structure break. So I wanted to go for it. I've got an entry here on another account for a short. If it actually does produce the short, that would be a happy day for me. But we'll have to see what happens here anyway. I might just come out because I'm not really happy with the structure as much. I wish it broke structure a bit better than this, you know, but we'll see anyway. Even looking at it from here, it looks like, I guess some parts are good about it, but it's still a bit iffy. But we'll know anyway at the end of the day. I'll give it some time. Now, I'm sure there are probably cross pairs that have some really good trades going on. I haven't personally seen that many. I think the Japanese yen pairs, they always seem to shine. Euro, Japanese yen, and etc. But I just want to take it easy and focus, guys. This is the first week for some of you trading for this year. So I know it's going to be a bit funny, a bit weird. This is my second week, but it's been good so far. I'm in profit, I'm relaxed, and I just want to focus. So tomorrow's CPI news, we'll continue, guys, where we left off. We'll see where the price lands us. For now, I'm not touching anything. The pending order I have for USD CAD, there's nothing I can do about that. That's already been filled already. So we're just gonna have to wait and see if the price follows through with my short. And if it does work, I'll be happy. If it doesn't, still be happy. All right, so I'll catch you guys later on.